Good morning, guys, and happy weekend or good afternoon, whatever time it may be. So today we are doing our reading for the week of November 29th to December 5th. And if you haven't gotten your newsletter yet, we are having the biggest sale of the year. So head over to www.lightwitchtarotshop.com because all of our candles are 40% off. And for that, you need code FLAME at checkout, right? All of the readings are 35% off with code WITCH. All of the workshops are 50% off with code SPIRIT, and all of the shops, so shop wide, it is off 30% with code MAGIC. So now that we got that out of the way, we are going to take a look at the energy for this coming week. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we are working with. So we're just going to go ahead and use our Rider-Waite. Out of all the decks that I have, of course, the Rider-Waite is just my trusty to go to, right? So let's go ahead and take a look here and see. So we start off with the Ace of Cups in reverse, followed by the Six of Pentacles in reverse, right? And then it is followed by the Empress. So this message is actually quite very interesting, right? So basically we are going to start off the week a little spiritually drained, which, you know, give and take of what's happening. This is really not a surprise, right? So we need to focus on refilling up that cup. We tend to give from an empty cup all the time. We may not be so good at saying no, right? And we just love to do things for other people. But seeing that we're emotionally and spiritually drained, you know, that makes us lack a little bit of creativity. And it almost makes us dysfunction a little bit in the emotional realm. So what we want to focus on is tapping into our intuition, but also into our body, you know, giving our body the rest that it needs, giving ourselves the detachment from the world just for a little bit. So we're able to refill that cup. We're able to recharge our energy, right? We follow by that Six of Pentacles in reverse. We may be dealing with some kind of selfish energy around us, almost like there's somebody that we've been trying to help, but it's almost like they're taking it for granted, or they just keep wanting more, right? They're kind of feeling almost like we see that ungrateful energy from them to us. And that may not be a surprise of why we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, right? We may actually be dealing with somebody who's just asking for more than what we can give, or somebody that we've been trying to help. It's almost like it's not good enough for them. And we're kind of reaching that point of saying, oh my gosh, then, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. So definitely setting boundaries when we're seeing this energy is extremely important, because what happens is when we continue to give on an empty cup, we become extremely overwhelmed at some point. It almost feels like we have depression. It almost feels like we cannot see the brightness or the light. So definitely checking up who's draining your energy, where you need boundaries. This is extremely important. Now, it's followed by the Empress energy, which we know is that mother energy, right? That nurturing energy that you're so used to giving to other people. This is definitely a time to give this energy to yourself, right? We see a lot of abundance around. We see a lot of needing to connect with nature and to connect with your higher power. So this is definitely a time to use that nurture, that compassion that you're so used to giving other people, but this time it's giving it to yourself. As you can see, all of our cards for this week really signal that if we don't slow down and if we don't bring balance, what's going to happen is we're going to end up being overwhelmed. We're going to end up feeling exhausted. And this is not an exhaustion that we can fix with getting some sleep or eating a salad. This is an emotional exhaustion. So the only way we can work this is with meditation, with cleansing our energy, with setting boundaries, with taking time for ourselves. I cannot tell you how many times a day I say this to myself as well as my clients. So let's take a look at the energy as a whole, right? What crystal we want to use. what flow we want to use. So our last card is all about perspective. So we definitely want to work with that perspective. We want to work with the crystal of Larimar. Larimar has been showing up a lot in my readings lately. And Larimar is the kind of crystal that really tunes you into your self-trust. Specifically, if you're feeling exhausted, makes perfect sense, right? I'm exhausted, I'm not feeling it, I feel blocked. We want to work with a crystal, with a medicine that's going to lead us into trusting our own energy once again. So keywords for this week: detachment, refilling our cup, resting, right? And just saying no and setting boundaries so we can really, really focus on our own energy, as well as refilling that cup, because you guys know, and I could tell you, when we keep giving from an empty cup, it's really hard for us to get out of that deep hole that we actually get if we don't start saying no. So we definitely want to avoid that, right? So hopefully this spoke to you guys. I will see you again next week. Remember to subscribe to the channel and head over to the shop if you're ready to get your reading with me. As I said, readings right now are 35% off, and right now I am actually scheduling for August and September. I know it is a long wait, but all the thousands of people that I read for could tell you that it is worth it, and the time actually goes by. Once we're old, time flies, right? So I love you guys. I will see you next weekend. Thank you for existing. You've got the shit. Lots of love and light to everyone, and blessed be. Bye-bye.